Hey there, welcome to episode 5 of Claire Shares. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to be sharing with you high energy, bite sized videos about all things talent attraction, acquisition, and retention. On today's episode, our focus is on positive new hire communication. If you missed our previous episodes on workplace communication processes and new hire onboarding, which tie in closely to today's topic as well, be sure to check them out and make sure to subscribe to Claire Shares wherever you get your podcasts. Before we get started with positive new hire communication, I want to share with you my recommendation of the week. I've been loving engaging in HR focused Slack channels lately. One I love in particular is the People Slack channel hosted and managed by HR Chief. Picture the biggest, most bustling office party, that's People, with over 10,000 members. Founded in 2016, it currently hosts the largest, most active Slack group not run by an HR software company. People gives HR, people ops, and recruiting pros a place to ask questions, share best practices, and learn from one another. I'm in there each week networking and answering questions, so search for us online or send me a message and I'll send you the information to join. I love to curate resources and share recommendations, so please reach out to me if there's something you're looking for. Let's get into our talent topic of the day, positive new hire communication. So what do I mean by positive new hire communication? When someone joins your organization, they don't know how work gets done in your company, what they should know, who they should know, where to go for information, things like that. Thinking about all the touch points necessary for your new hire within their first 90 days, you can create positive communication and a positive experience, which has a direct impact on employee retention. I'm about to share with you some of my favorite ways to engage and communicate with new hires to give them the best joining experience possible. As we go through today's topics, it's helpful for you to think of this from the perspective of your current employees as well, who may not be new anymore. For example, when was the last time they had a check-in with their manager or received some recognition? Getting started with these simple but actionable tips can make a huge impact and help prevent someone from leaving your organization. Here's why this is worth investing in. A 2022 survey by Paychex found that 33% of all employees found their onboarding experience to be confusing. That includes 36% of remote employees who were more than twice as likely than on-site employees to make plans to leave their employer as a result of a poor initial experience. You just spent so much time, effort, and probably money to find the person you want for this role, and they just started with you. The communication and touch points during their first 30 to 90 days is critical for talent retention. Ready to learn how you can improve your new hire communication? Let's start with some basics. When someone joins your company, make sure they're invited to all necessary company and team meetings and added on to all meeting invites. I know I hate as a new person finding out that I missed an important meeting that would have been helpful. I didn't even know about it. It's happened to me before. Also highly recommend managers set up one-on-one meetings with their new hire. What's worked well for me in the past is to meet with my new hire once a day at the end of the day for 30 to 60 minutes during their first week. Then we might move to a standing one-on-one weekly meeting. It definitely depends on the role and the individual. In the beginning, it's better to meet more often than less. In previous organizations I've worked for, a manager has come to me and shared that their new hire was having performance and behavior issues within the first 30 days. We narrowed that down to being caused by a lack of time with the manager. They did not have set one-on-one meeting time each week. This time is necessary to give positive reinforcement on good things, but also squash bad habits, performance, or behavior. It's hard for people to know what's expected of them if it's not over-communicated in the beginning. We can't assume that someone new in our organization should know the expectations. Again, during these one-on-ones between the new hire and the manager is a great time for the manager to share specific praise and what the new hire is doing well. Specifically stating something you've noticed that the individual's done well helps them to keep doing it. Aside from giving praise during a one-on-one meeting, Microsoft Teams also has a cool praise feature where you can send someone kudos with a fun graphic and thank them. If you're not a Microsoft house, check out if this type of functionality exists in the communication or collaboration tool you use at your workplace. And if you don't have a chat or messaging tool, you can always create a fun and quick thank you graphic on Canva that can be sent via text or email. These meetings are also a great time to reinforce company values and encourage them in action. For example, if your team is used to challenging each other in a healthy way to grow and improve, explain the importance of this cultural aspect to the new hire, and give an example of it in action or tell them to look out for that in a future team meeting. On the flip side, be sure to address performance behavior or attendance issues you've noticed that aren't acceptable and reset expectations. Sometimes we may want to ask a question to figure out why that took place and allow the new hire to share. In my experience, their answer is typically they just didn't know yet that they were doing something the wrong way, and we're grateful for the communication so they could correct it. From an HR side, once your new hire starts, consider meeting with them at 30, 60, and 90 days to check in. You likely built rapport with the new hire as part of the recruiting process before they even met their manager. So hopefully these meetings help you get honest feedback from them about how onboarding is going. It's also a great time to offer support, answer any questions, ensure they completed that new hire benefits enrollment or any other HR tasks. And again, this is a great time to reinforce company values, expectations, and get them on board early with company involvement. Maybe that's attending the company provided breakfast on the first Thursday of each month or engaging with the company's posts on LinkedIn. You may have heard the saying that people need to hear a piece of information 7 times before they really comprehend it. Be sure to keep this in mind with your new hires. There are likely key benefits, company information, or other role information you want to reiterate within those first 30 to 90 days. Remember that small, thoughtful actions build trust. Get creative. Depending on the role in your company, it may make sense to encourage teammates to check in with the new hire or to assign a buddy. Here's another idea. Give your meetings a change of scenery. Here at Lighthouse, we like to take our meetings on a walk in the Seneca One courtyard outside or down to the lobby. And remember, as a manager, check in with your team when there are big events going on globally, as it may be impacting mental health. Listening is in action. You don't have to do anything, but just offering that space to be there for them and listen shows a lot of care. As always, be sure to think about the people, process, and technology involved in positive new hire communication. Map out what those touch points should be, who needs to be involved, and how the message will be delivered. This week, think about your new hire's communication experience through the lens of employee retention, and then the people, process, and technology involved to make that a positive experience. Thank you for being here with me and joining me for these bite-sized videos about all things talent attraction, acquisition, and retention. These areas of HR and people ops are my favorite and specialty, and I'm so excited to dive in with you. This work is what I do, so if you need help with the tools, technology, and process around how you attract, acquire, and retain talent, reach out to me and let's talk.